Computer's gonna freeze one of these days. Too many videos. I should like delete some. So my viewers can complain later. What are 3 things that you need? You bought your car. It's used. What are 3 things that you need to take with you before you actually tell the seller, okay, I'm good, this is my car now, I'm going to go and insure it? What are 3 things you need? The white paper. And what is that white paper like? What is that for? You need the TOD, okay? We're going to put that down. The TOD is the transfer of ownership. You need the COI, which is the safety paper. That's the white big paper. And you need the bill of sale. If you don't have those 3 items, AutoPack agent, anyone you go to in the whole province, they're going to be like, can't insure it. You got to come back with those things or else we cannot do it. Okay. All right. So this is, I want to show you, I have some samples here. Let's go to the 90s. I'm from the 90s and older than that, but 93. Go to page 93. If you've never seen a safety paper, page 93, okay? This is exactly what it looks like. It has 3 copies, obviously, a white, a yellow, and a pink. Page 93, it looks like this. Look up on the screen. So all the mechanic has this paper, and the mechanic has to say pass, right? Mark the R box with an X when it's rejected, right? Or not, so rejected or pass. So the mechanic will check for all these things. So brakes, rocker panels, you name it, rust. Check for all of that. And ultimately here, right here, guys, this is where you want to focus on. This box right here. Is it pass? Is it fail? Or is it fail because it's hazardous, right? Or unsafe. So which one is it? I don't know the difference, but this is where you want to focus on. However, guys, watch this. Sometimes the car you're buying will have an X here, and it will have an X there. And you'll be like, what? It's confusing. It's because the car failed the first time. So you brought it to the shop and it failed safety, and then they did all the repairs, and then it did pass. So it is okay, it's normal for that to happen, right? So very few cars pass safety the first go, right? Like only new cars, obviously, but used ones don't. Let's keep going. Page 94. This is a bill of sale sample. You can get this on AutoPack's website, MPI, I should say, Manitoba Public Insurance. Fill in bill of sale. Google bill of sale template. I would recommend do the one that AutoPack or MPI has. This is on page 94. And you just fill this in. Okay. The seller. So if you're selling, then all of the people owning that vehicle, they should have their name on here. So sometimes, you know, there's a couple that owns the car, so both names should be on here. If it's your dad, a guardian, you and maybe your uncle, 3 people own the car, they should all be on here. Okay. The sum of, so you say how much you're selling it for, and then this is the buyer, however many people are buying that car, right? So it's pretty straightforward. Did I talk about the VIN number yesterday? The VIN is the vehicle identification number. It's like the ID of the car. Where is it found? Did I tell you that? By the doors, and the most important one is the windshield one. So let's talk about the TOD, transfer of ownership. This is a paper that you should also have. This part here is blue, the bottom part. This is on page 95. If you open the glove compartment of your car, you will probably see this in there. So when you insure your car, AutoPack gives you this. So when you sell it, you need to release it. You need to transfer the ownership to the other person. So where it says sign here, they don't leave you a whole lot of room. I don't get it. But anyways, you're supposed to sign right there saying, you know, now the car is the other person's property. If you don't have this paper signed, they ain't gonna insure your car. I can guarantee you that. Okay? Come with me to page 97. That is where the VIN number is. I actually would like to assign homework and you go find it on your car, the car that maybe you don't have a car. Go on Aberdeen, the parked cars, just go to any one of those and just find that it's on the driver's side. And then people are going to yell at you. It's like, hey, you're trying to steal my car? It's like, no, I just doing my homework. Right? Well, is that what they call it these days, right? But there's a long VIN number like this, and it's unique to your car. It tells a story, by the way. You don't need to know all of these things, but it tells you which country it's been made, what color paint was used to make it. All of those things are embedded in this VIN number. Now, pay close attention to this. If you're ever going to buy a car, why should you not go by the VIN number that's on the doors? Why would that be a bad idea? They can change. Somebody T-bones you, right? And you replace that door with a used part, that VIN number is different, right? That can easily change. So you should go with this one. Right? I've done this. I've asked the previous owners or the owner that's trying to sell it, send me a picture of this, right? So then the person sends me a VIN number. I like to do this in person, but sometimes when there's so many cars I want to look at, I'm like, just give me the VIN number and I will do the Carfax. Did I talk about Carfax yesterday? Yeah, I hope so. It's very important you do a Carfax, 65 bucks. And you also do what's that other funny word that starts with an L? A lien. Yeah, lien. I think they both go. A lien or lien is a chain, guys. I don't know if I explained that to you. Look at my piece of art here. That's why I almost failed art. I'm not kidding. The bank, if you borrow money from the bank to buy this car, the bank puts a lien on that car, and it's like an invisible chain. The bank is saying, hey, you can drive it, but really it belongs to us. Don't go too far, right? Like you can't go down to the States and sell it. And it's like, hey, I've got all this money now. I'm rich now, right? You can't do that. So they put an invisible chain on it. So when you want to buy that car that someone's selling, you want to do a lien search to see, does that person owe money on that car? Because if that person does, they can actually come and get the car from you. It belongs to the bank legally. So I would always ensure that the person pays it off, sends you a letter confirming that it has been paid off, and then you're good to go. You know what? My bank did a lien search for me on my behalf before they gave me money for that car, because they also want to make sure you're not giving them a car that belongs to a different bank. So now it's like a fight over, hey, it's my car, no my car, right? So VIN number is important, guys. Oh my goodness, he's talking so much. It's so much about a car. I just want a car. I don't want to worry about that. Well, you need to, right? It's a big transaction for you guys. Okay. Oh, there's a Carfax sample report that I showed you yesterday on 98, but that's just that you don't need to worry about that. That's just samples because students have no idea what a safety paper should look like. And now you know, a bunch of check boxes, right? Right now, shops cannot safety cars because they don't have this paper. Autopack is still doing everything on paper, and they were on strike. I don't know if you knew that, Autopack. So cars couldn't be sold sometimes. They couldn't be transferred. I don't know if they've have come to an agreement now, but anyways, I'm talking a lot, right? Sorry, guys. I wish I could just teach you without talking, but I'm not that good yet. Okay. Go to page 17, please. So this is the deal here. I'm going to give you one more example. And then I assigned this. I know. You're like, oh, you're doing the homework for us? You know, if you did it, way to go. That's actually what I wanted. But sometimes I do go over the question just in case. So here we go. Page 17. Patty's buying a car from a private owner. That's very important. It's not a new car. We're in used car territory for $9,500. In order to pass the safety, it needs 2 new headlights for $60 each, 4 new brakes. How's that? I'm highlighting for you guys. I don't need a highlighter. Okay, I know this stuff. And a new fuel pump for $190. There's 3 things that need to be changed. And then there's labor. The labor to do the repairs takes 2 hours at $65 per hour. Okay, so that's like the parts and labor part of this question. There will be a safety check done. And the book value, there's that funny word, the book value, right? I'm going to give, see, I have so many highlighters, I can just go to town here, okay? The book value is $10,000. Guys, you never pay the book value. It's just there to help us determine the taxes, okay? So let's figure out the total cost of parts and labor before tax. So parts and labor, P&L, I would just go 2 headlights times $60 each, right? 2 times 60, plus 4 new brakes at $150 each, right? So 4 times 150. This is actually province stuff. They like to do this. A new fuel pump for $190. And how am I going to do the labor part here, the green part? Sometimes, guys, it says 2.5 hours. Don't worry about it. Just take that. 2 hours times $65 per hour. Okay, so that's the green part right here. Okay, that's the labor. Okay, and then let's do some mental math here. 120 plus 600, right? 4 times 150 plus 190 plus 2 times 65 is 130. And I gave you the answer already, and it's 1,040 before tax. Notice that. Before tax. Very important. Normally we would add 12%, but this question says do not add taxes. Okay. Next, the total cost to purchase the car after tax. Purchase the car after tax. So here, let me do this for you. I need you to have this on your study sheet, right? So on your study sheet, you should have new and used. You know we're in the used territory. Which formula are you going to use between the ones I gave you? It's not a dealer. You're not buying a used from a dealer. You're buying used private. So this is the formula you should have on your study sheet and follow it. Okay? So I'm going to start with it. I'm not going to write out the whole thing. Purchase price is $9,500. Now I need to add my taxes. I'm going to do this. 9,500 slash 10,000 times 0.07. Which one is greater between the two? This is the actual price. This is the book value. Book value. So this is now gone. Okay. This is greater. I would strongly suggest you do something like this because if it's exam review time, you can see what happened there, right? So plus, the formula calls for safety. Is there a safety? Yes. And that gets taxed 5%. Next part is parts and labor. because it's not taxed yet, right? I'm just going to go and take the 1040 multiplied by 1.12. Is there a lien search? No lien search, but it's the formula calls for it, but it's not mentioned. So I guess this person chooses not to do it or whatever. You don't need to worry about it. Here we go, 9,500 plus, what's 10,000 times 0.07? 700 bucks, right? Who collects the 700 bucks? The province, and it's actually AutoPack agent. Do not give that money to the other person that's selling you the car. It's gone, like you're not going to get it back. You do this later, okay? Plus 40 times 1.05. Where's my key? Where's my key? I should have had it. 42, yeah, 42. I actually knew that, but I'm nervous sometimes in front of a big crowd. Okay. And now you bring the ship to shore, right? Now you just add it all up. And the final answer is 11,406.80. Oops, why is there brackets? No brackets. But I'm going to circle that. That's my final answer. Boom. So I'm just going to make an arrow that the parts and labor, I like to do parts and labor on the side before I use this formula. Okay. So in this case, I do break it down anyways, but sometimes I don't. Okay, guys, can I say this? 90% of the time, this is what they're going to ask. But every once in a while, the province has done the taxes only thing, right? So students gave us, everybody gave me this. It's like, no, it says taxes paid after, so taxes only. And here you can be creative. You can copy down the 700, right? Because those are the taxes. So I'm going to say taxes would be the 700. And I'm just going to say that's where I got it from. Okay. And would you write down the 42? Nope. $40 was the safety and you added 5%, so you ended up with 42, right? So there is only $2 tax, a $2 tax, plus $2 for safety. Okay. Let me use, I can't really highlight because maybe I can do this. Okay. $2 right there. And then how much taxes did I pay for the parts and labor? It's harder to do that when you're ahead. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to go 1,040 times 0.12. Right? I'm just going to find 12%. So here it is, 700 plus 2 plus, I used to be good at mental math, but technology took over my brain. Okay. So you add it all up, and I believe that's what we get. So you be creative on how you're going to come up with this. I gave you a formula yesterday to do that, and like it's basically very similar to the original formula, except for everything turns into a 0 point something, not 1 point, right? So you got to watch out for that. I like to give you some time to practice use today, and I know you're tired. You're probably like, your stomach is kind of saying, yeah, I need lunch, Mr. Erickson, I can't do this. Can I ask you to try at least one question, right? So this is what I'm going to say, because I did assign 18 technically. So I'm going to assign a bit more. Go to page 20. And I'm going to go 20 to 22. Okay. And it says buying a used vehicle worksheet. And so homework 20 to 22. And this is what I don't expect you to do every single question. But if you can't, if you want to, you go for it. I'm not going to stop you. I will actually be proud of you if you do that. So this is page 20. Yeah. I will look for the answer key as you're working and post it. And used is a little trickier than buying new, so I need you to practice a bit more. Okay? Thank you guys. You were great today, as always. Okay? And I'll stop right here.